That's right back, Charlie.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
People
Big up Ian Wright. Oh yeah, Ian,
a
alive, man. Ian, chill. Big up Ian Wright regardless, but it was so good it had to run twice. We improvise and we keep going. People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night. If you're on YouTube, smash the like button. Twitch and Twitter, I see you. Again, before we get into it, I have a very important announcement to make. Now, on the first, well, better yet, on the 11th, the 11th hour, but yeah, let's start again. At 11 a.m. on the 13th of April, 1995, the sexiest YouTuber was born, which obviously is me. Like, you know, first things first, big up God for making me. Like, I can't lie to you people. I can't lie to you. I've got a lot going for me. I've got some supreme support and fans like yourself. We've got a great YouTube channel. You know, like, I can't lie. I'm fucking sexy. Like, I'm definitely sexy. Definitely the sexiest Arsenal content creator. I know on top of me being knowledgeable or being open-minded or being critical in the analysis, it, you know, serious eye candy. Serious eye candy. So yeah, happy birthday to me, man. And I'm appreciative to you lot for all you lot support. Better yet, let's do 29 shots now. That's cap. But you know, and again. You know what? Wait, the good die young. I'm here for a long time as well, people. But let's go again. No, I'm chatting. I'm definitely not doing that. But but big up you lot, man. Big up you lot. Hey, man. Hey, Rums, big up yourself and thank you for the happy birthday message. But stop running this 39 thing, man. Babyface killer, man. Gabriel Jesus settings, man. Come on. And you can argue I'm even sexier than the average man, yeah, because all these guys say, oh, 6 foot and beards and that. I got babyface and I'm 5'8", but I still make them do the race. So you're crazy. So yeah, man. Waviest YouTube. Hey, D'Angelo, all of that. Say that again. What did you say? Large you up on your G-Day, the waviest YouTuber. Yeah. Let's keep that going. Yeah. And to all my brethren watching this live stream, if you ain't got loud, if you ain't got drinks, if you ain't got host, no, I'm joking about the host, but if you ain't got that, don't shout me in it. Do not shout me. But the grind has to continue on a serious note, people. Appreciative to the birthday message. Gonna watch the Newcastle game with my granddad, who is a Newcastle fan. Pels, big up granddad, man. Hopefully, you know, Newcastle give him something to scream and shout about. I won't lie to you, lot. I don't care about football today, man. I care about Arsenal and you lot. Whatever happens, you know. I don't even know who's playing. Hopefully Liverpool or City lose. I still don't look at how can I forget this on my birthday to do my fantasy league. Forget all of that. But who is actually playing today, people? Any questions, talking points, etc.? Feel no sort of way about getting them in. You've got Newcastle. Come on, Newcastle. Definitely come on, Newcastle. You got Brentford, Sheffield United, Burnley, Brighton, Manchester City, Luton. Luton are going to get ripped. Nottingham Forest, Wolves, Bournemouth, Man United, man divided. Come on, Bournemouth, man. Come on, Bournemouth. Hopefully, Bournemouth do the business in that regards, man. But I'm wishing on the star, man. Appreciate that, CeeLo. Let's get straight into it, man. I'm not going to cap to you lot. There isn't much to discuss from an Arsenal perspective, but at the same time, there's always something for me to do. Pour that. Wavy settings. And this is just the start of the day, man. Not too many days that I get to enjoy myself. And that's why I made sure to do a birthday stream because, you know, the grind keeps going and whatnot. But yeah, man said Phil Mitchell settings. Bro, Phil Mitchell ain't got nothing on me, boy. Due to colonialism and all of that, there must be Irish blood. But yeah, if we get into, and we should really change that. Let's see what Mikel Arteta has said. Now, Apparently there's been some sound bites he's offered about, you know, big Gabriel maybe being injured, Timber's fitness. I can't imagine anyone expects Timber to play any part of this season significantly. At best, you know, you might see him towards the last 2-3 games of the season. We've got to remember he had an ACL and all of them things there. But let's see what the gaffer has said. Straight off the bat, he's spoken about Gabriel. On if Gabriel will be fit after missing part of training. We've got one more day to prepare for the match. We'll see tomorrow if everybody's available. So we could accept what Mikel Arteta is saying for gospel, or he could be doing mind games. You got to remember, he's been around Pep Guardiola, mind games. He's Wenger, one of the kings of mind games. I think Gabriel will be there. I hope he's not. I don't know why I believe this, people. I don't know any information to give you, but I just feel, you know, again, we're not flies on the wall. We're not the coaches and things like that. But, you know, if you just play Football Manager or anything like that, we've heard Big Gabriel's been carrying a knock, right? There's been a lot of games. He's been nursed through them. Is it a thing where, you know, he's missed training or missed certain parts of training because they've said that, you know what, your ankle or whatever's wrong with you, cool off, you'll be going again. So I think it's a thing like that, if I'm honest. Shame if we win the league, Timber won't get a medal. The streets know he won it, man. The streets know he won it. I don't know. Well, Arsenal in the title challenge, we're doing all right. This is a mind games, to be honest, but maybe we try rotate, could be possible. Should there be rotation, though? And I'm not saying you're wrong, because I agree with you, Ben. There should be rotation, 100%. We have to trust the squad. There's a lot of games and all of them kind of things there. But at the same time, if we're fighting for the league and we know Liverpool and City are the big dogs, they barely give anything away, then as cliche as it is, every game is a cup final. So do you go out there with your strongest team? Yes, we've got Bayern Munich on the Wednesday, but we knew in August that if we got to do one better than what we did last season or carry on in that regards and get to the latter stages of the champs, this is it. And I also think the players could play. I think there could be some rotation. I think there should be some rotation. But on the other hand, I wouldn't be angry if Mikel Arteta names the strongest lineup. For me personally, and I was going to kind of get into it later, but off the top of my head, obviously David Raya, Gabriel Saliba, Benjamin White. I am torn on left back, and you lot let me know your thoughts as well as hitting the like button. I'm torn on left back, if I'm honest with you. Like, do you go with Tomiyasu, getting some minutes? Can you get an hour? And then you know you're playing Bayern Munich, you need to see Tomiyasu. Big up Zinchenko for his impact. Or do you go with Zinni? Because I know Aston Villa have some injuries and whatnot, but we know what we're going to get. They play the offside trap very well. I think they've caught the most opponents offside. They've obviously got some great players, 1v1, and, you know, the Baileys. I don't know if Watkins fit, but they've got these kind of players. Do you go with Zinchenko or Tomiyasu? Or do you give like Zinni, either Zinni or Tommy? Do you get an hour or 45 minutes? Probably not 45, but do you get an hour and then the other gets half an hour? I'm torn at left back. So I said Raya to stay with me. Gabriel Saliba, Benjamin White, David Raya. Left back. You know what? I'm gonna go with what I wouldn't say, because I would say Tomiyasu. I'm gonna say Zinchenko. I'm gonna say Zinni, because he actually looked very good off the bench. I'm gonna say Zinchenko. And even that, when you look at the Bayern Munich game, the Brighton game, the Luton game, with what we've been talking about with the Tomiyasus and things, and Partey, how fit are they really and truly? But yeah, Tommy, Raya, Saliba, Gabriel, Benjamin White in midfield, obviously Declan Rice, clearly Martin Odegaard. I'm starting Partey, if I'm honest with you, because should have started against Bayern, but I'm starting Partey. Pardon me, I assume Zinchenko will start away in Germany. On the right-hand side, Saka. Up front, I'm still persisting with Kai Havertz. On the left is where it gets techie, because I think Gabriel Jesus deserves a start based on his impact. I want to persist with Martinelli. But I do think there's been a lot of times where Trossard not been done dirty, but he's been done dirty. He's deserved to start. So do you know what? I'm actually going to say Trossard. So from front to back, Trossard, Havertz, Saka, Odegaard, Rice, Partey, Tomiyasu, Benjamin White, Saliba, Gabriel, obviously, and David Raya persist. On if there are any other injury hangovers post Bayern, we have some, but hopefully with another day, we're going to be okay. On what he's taken from the Bayern game, reflection done, Bayern gone. Now it's Aston Villa. We're only focused on Aston Villa. On if Saka has calmed down after Tuesday night. Yes, he looked fine this morning. He had 48 hours to think about it, and it's done. On what's impressed him the most about Aston Villa, what they've done since Emre's came in. And we've got to remember, Aston Villa are fighting for a Champions League place, and we hope they do it. I'd rather they do it than Spurs. I'd rather Man United do it than Spurs, but Man United are in crisis. It's more man divided. Is it Eric Ten Hag or 10 excuses? I don't know, but them brothers there stay losing. But anyways, he's made a huge impact at the club in terms of performances and consistencies. It's unbelievable what they're doing. They're still in European competition and they played last night. So it's really impressive with what they've done. And I think Aston Villa are going to be missing some key players in that game, people. And obviously that gives, fuel to our fire, that gives us a spring in our step. But at the same time, I'm very wary of writing people off if they don't have players. When you look at in fact, when we've been, when we dealt with Burnley, West Ham, all those cricket score games, we didn't do that with our strongest side. I would say results of the season, beating Liverpool at home, drawing with Bayern now, beating Liverpool at home and beating City. Did we do that on paper with what Arsenal fans would say is the strongest team? I don't believe so. So we got to be wary. And even teams that we've played at the Emirates, really, Luton couldn't pay players to stay fit. They gave us a tough game considering all the changes, even though we dealt with it. Smash the like button. It's a brother's birthday. And then you look at Brentford. Brentford had a lot of injuries. They rocked up here and we got it done, but it was a closer game. So you can't, I don't believe in writing off people, if I'm completely honest with you. Hey DG, big up your work and dedication. My left back view is long term. We have progressed past Zinchenko. We should get Theo Hernandez from AC Milan. He's 1.84 meters and can defend and attack. T, I hear that, but I'm not going to sit here and lie. What does the meters, how does that convert into like your height? Like, are you 5'8"? Are you 6 foot? Whatever are you? Apparently, Cash and Lynette could be back. Longley, get at him. Cash, we know he's an attacking fullback. So whoever's playing on the left-hand side is going to put in the shift. I wouldn't say we've moved past Zinchenko. I look at Zinchenko in the same way I look at Tomiyasu. Obviously, if these guys form and Arteta wants to do that, these guys can play on a regular basis. But I agree with you in that we've kind of moved from you lot being in the strongest lineup. But I've been saying that I think people, not you or anyone necessarily, but I think people are quite disrespectful and people don't kind of comprehend you need a squad. I do think there's conditions and games for Zinchenko. I defo feel with us aspiring to be a team that wins titles and all of that jazz, Zinchenko can help us. But I do think because I still think there's question marks on our left-hand side, but we've kind of become a more creative team. Goals are coming from all walks of the pitch. Obviously, we can technically set up goals from David Raya. I do think the pros to Zinchenko don't outweigh the cons. Like him doing the inverted thing, it's not that we don't need it, but it's not really a that thing like that. But yeah, I think we all know Timber's thrown a spanner in the works. Timber's injury, mad spanner in the works, because Timber is that, in my opinion, that unicorn of a player Mikel Arteta was looking at to take this to the next level, because, he's not, Zinchenko's a 10 or 8 by trade. Timber's a defender, so he's not quite to the level of Zinchenko with the prestige on the ball, but he's great in the final third. He's a physical monster. He don't look the tallest because you've got Saliba and Gabriel, but he's got height. So I think Timber's thrown a spanner in the works. If I had to say my left back rankings right now on the 13th of April 2024, I would say for me, first, if everybody's fit and there's nothing to consider, form, opponents, all of that stuff, and there's nothing to think about, Timber's first for me, Tomiyasu second, Zinchenko's third, and then Kiwior's third. I would like to see Kiwior at centre half, but I say that. Would I want to see you before Gabriel? 100% no. I do like Kiwior's progress. And obviously, as he said there, Aston Villa have been great. They're doing great things under Unai Emery. I think they played on Thursday, so technically we've had more days rest. So hopefully we can make that count, people, in a positive sense. 36 likes, can we get to 100? Yeah, I feel Zinni, there's games for him, but Timber injury did change the plan for things. I personally feel, and we could throw Gabriel Jesus into this. When we signed them, I do think, they changed our system. They helped Arteta put some building blocks in, and it would have been romantic if Zinchenko could show why he should be a starter, if Gabriel could show that Gabriel Jesus could show that he's a good player but could score goals. I think we need to learn from City and have them as quote-unquote squad players. Now, squad players is what it is. I would count Kai Havertz as a squad player. He's played to the standard where, you're one of the first names on the team sheet, but you need a squad if you're honest with yourselves. And I just think people are... Like, I've seen some rhetoric about selling Gabriel Jesus and sell this guy. Listen, when we do 3-4 Premier League trophies like Pep, 100 points, treble, and we've got collective great options, then by all means, sell all these guys. But we're not there yet, people. On whether there are any challenges to playing last out of the title, the 3 title contenders, yes and no. I would say no, because ultimately everyone's got to play the same amount of games. I would say yes, because Obviously, you're going to see Liverpool, see City. You're going to know exactly what it is going into the game. And I look at the Southampton games. You remember last season where we drew, but we effed up? I think psychologically, before we stepped into the game, there was a lot of issues off the back of our form, what was playing for, and what other teams did. We know the results, but we still have our duty to win our game, which is the only thing that we can control. That's happened a few times already, and it's going to happen again in the next week. So we'll just focus on what we can do, what we can control, and make sure that we perform like we have to do against a really good side to try and beat them. Why are you texting me? See them people there that text happy birthday? Trim looks like it was done 2 hours ago. What are you saying? Okay, all right, one sec. Remove that. Okay. Gally Brownings, yeah. Skin fade, yeah. Okay, let's be serious, people. Let's be serious. What shall I do? Light skin face. I love Island. Shout me, but you see, you're throwing me off topic. But I appreciate that, man. Shout my barber, man. Jamaican and that. But yeah, like. That is Arteta's bang on the money, man. Where's the waves, bro? I'm not doing the waves thing, but I ain't got the natural waves. I got the curly thing. There was a stage, yeah, and I'll tell you why I don't do the wave thing again, yeah. There was a stage where the wave thing was that, and obviously you got to put the gel in your hair. This was a few years ago. This was Carnival, and this was one of obviously this is in August, but it was a few years ago. And if you went Carnival, you would know this is one of the days where it absolutely pissed down. Obviously, I put the gel in my hair for Carnival, and I ain't got a hood. Like I've got a jacket with no hood. Deadest Carnival I've ever been in. Like it's coming out my hair. Every minute I'm walking past girls like, oh, what's in your hair? What happened? My friends are going to never again, man. Stick to the natural thing, the melanin settings. But anyways, people, yeah, Arteta's not lying there, really and truly. On semi-automated offsides being introduced next season. Now, I'm in two minds about that. I'm happy because I feel the more you can rely on computers and eliminate the margin of human error, I'm all for. But we know the Premier League are weird. Like they will see, and I don't know who else, but let's just assume Spain, Italy, Germany, and France, whatever European league, they've all got semi-automated. Let's just assume for this example, right? And they all have a certain way of doing it. The Premier League in England, they're going to see that it may work for all these other countries, and they're going to try to do it in a different way. But it would be nice, really and truly. Arteta has said it's going to make it better. On Timber's fitness, he said he's still got a few steps to make. He needs to play at least with the under-21s, and he's going to have an in-house game soon as well. So that means we're going to make a friendly up for him. He's done everything in training. Now it's getting that match fitness and having people around him to start competing in a full match, which is different to training. And what I like there is, when it comes to injuries, Arteta is a bit like Arsene Wenger and Pep. He's a bit... You can never know what he's thinking, but he's been quite specific. He's literally said, like, he's making progress, but he needs to get some minutes with the 21s. Probably need, I imagine he plays like half an, like, let's just assume the 21s were playing today and Timber's eligible to play in that. I think he gets half an hour in that or an hour max. I think, assuming that would be the first one. So like, boom, 21s, you get 45 to an hour. I think the in-house friendly, you get 90. And then after that, you're eligible to be on the bench, really and truly. On what he'll bring to the team when he's back, hopefully not a lot. Everything we've seen in training and in the time he was fit, I think is going to have a big impact on the team. On how pleased Arteta is with our momentum. It's really good. We want to carry on going. It's the most beautiful part of the season coming up right now and a very busy schedule. We're going to have a really tough game against a really good side, and we're going to have a really good opponent. We're going to have to be really good to beat them. I'm reading two things. On the lead at the top of the table, changing 18 times. I can't comment on that because I don't look at the league table, people, but maybe you lot can. I didn't know that. Hopefully it stays as it was for the remaining 6 weeks. 18 is a beautiful number. I'll tell you, you're a big man. I like 8 a lot. It was my number, so let's keep it at 18. Fair enough. On how the players are dealing with pressure. How do you lot think they're dealing with pressure? Because I think they should be looking at it twofold, like in a sense of this is what we've been building towards. But what's you lot's thoughts? I remember saying Grimaldo would be a great signing when he was on a free. Dare I say we are obsessed with the expensive option. Feel like Kiwior is still raw and Arteta overlooked that. I actually felt he was at fault for both goals, not just the second. Charlie, I'm not going to lie. I think that's harsh, bro. I think it's harsh to just blame Kiwior for that. I'm not saying you're saying that, but I think that's harsh, man, because I definitely think he could do better. I definitely agree with you that Kiwior is mad still raw. I think Kirior's made great progress of how, he got a run last season. He looked good in pre-season. He's taking his opportunities now. but I don't think he's levels. I'll be absolutely honest. I think you could be part of the squad, but I don't think you're levels. I like Kiwior and I want to be proven wrong, but what does, and you don't have to do this, but what does Kiwior do outstandingly? You know, Tomiyasu might not be the sexiest on the eye, but you know, if there's a gun to your head and you and your loved ones are going to die if you don't get a performance, Tomiyasu, 1v1 defensive monster, Japanese, Swiss Army knife, like he's going to lock it down. Zinni, for all his faults, you know what he can do in the final third. Timber, the case study isn't there, but we know how good Timber is. What does Kiwior do in an outstanding sense? Like, you're not, like, for me anyways, when I was hearing Polish international, there's that pedigree, playing in Italy, the University of Defending, I thought you might not be the most pleasing of the eye, but, you know, you're not Vidic or Rio or John Terry or Sol Campbell, but I thought you would be on kind of that. Like, you're very difficult to get past. And I think Kiwior's done well. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I think fans have been gassing up Kiwior, if I'm honest with you, especially when, you know, when we was tucking in like Burnley, West Ham, all them teams where they weren't really asking nothing. And again, don't misquote me. Kiwior's done very well. And I believe in him. He played for Arsenal. But I think the case study weren't quite there. And anytime there's obviously been times he's played well, but anytime Kiwior's had to stand up to be counted, he's been savage. Like, how many times has he been hooked at half-time? What, he got hooked at half-time against Fulham, hooked at half-time against Bayern, dead rubber game in I think, game week 6 in the Champions League. Obviously, there was that. He's come a long way from playing around with his boot against Brighton or ducking out against Sporting. I think it's a mentality thing with Kiwior more than anything. And he stood tall against Porto. He did well against Liverpool for what it's worth. He did. I actually feel people are being harsh on him against Manchester City because he didn't make no errors. He didn't get ripped. Nothing happened to him. Like, I do think football fans can be a bit silly in that, you know, Bernardo Silva nutmegged him and turned him, and it's like, oh, what's going on there with Kiwior? Like, bro, it's Bernardo Silva. Like, it is what it is. You know, you're going to lose a battle, win the war being a clean sheet. But I don't think Kiwior's been that certain, and I don't see enough, really. People talk about his pace. Pace doesn't matter, or recovery pace don't matter if you're consistently flat-footed and you're not proactively reactive to certain situations. I definitely feel he had a part to play in the 2 goals, but I think it's a culmination of errors because you got to look at the second goal against Bayern Munich. Manuel Neuer's doing kick-ups, and to be fair, he's actually sold Deluded and Kimmich down the river, and they've done quite well. Obviously, once that ball's been knocked from the right hand, well, our left, their right, into our half, Kiwior's been turned. Now, I'm never going to get at a player for being turned by Sane. It happens. You do that to anyone. He's done that to better players than Kiwior, but it's too easy. And then when you go through it, there's a series of errors. Like, for me, the first goal, I'm more annoyed with the second, if I'm honest with you, or what led to the penalty with, you know, like 3 of our players trying to make a challenge to Libra, obviously conceding the pen. I'm more annoyed with the first. I'm annoyed with both goals because, listen, Bayern Munich have the quality with Kane, with Gnabry, with Sane, with Deluded and Goretzka, 2 players I feel are not getting enough credit for as good as the game they had. Obviously, if they do a madness like Kane scores from 30 yards, or there's a lovely pass from Musiala which led to this first goal, which was, you know, for a team that's been great in us on the transition, it simply put weren't good enough. You know, you can hold your hands up and say, you know what, they're Bayern Munich, it's what they do, in it. But we handed them their goals, man, and we've done that really and truly, and that's for me where we need to eradicate, because for me it felt like the Spurs game or the Chelsea game where we've gone to sleep defensively and we've shot ourselves in the foot, but we've drawn all of them. But at the same time, if you told me in August, Liverpool, City, and Bayern Munich would rock up at the Emirates and none of them would get 3 points, obviously Champions League is different, but win, I would say you're lying, or you're smoking something serious, or you're from the future. And what I would say, if you're from the future, can you give me the lottery ticket? So I don't think Kiwior's obviously got outstanding qualities, but on the pitch, I don't see it. But I just think it's a belief thing with Kiwior. I think he now believes in himself a bit more. But I just think fans are overhyping it. And in relation to pressure, we should be dealing with it. I just think it's motivational. I think they've lived it already. They're super excited about what we're doing and the way the team is performing, winning matches, and they want more. We know the task and the challenge ahead of us and how good we have to be to win it, but we're going to try. What I would say to the players, this is a lot better than relying on Norwich to beat Spurs. And when Arsenal was negative, it's very nice to, obviously the pundits are wayward, but it's easy to praise the project Arsenal were doing on the pitch, off the field. a couple of you players were here when people saying, "Oh, I don't know what Arsenal's doing." This is the realm we wanted to be in. We've come a long way, so enjoy it. On Villa having key players, missing people, we always try to use things to our advantage. We don't know what they're going to do, and that's nothing we can control. They still won last night. They are a really good side. Obviously, this was, I guess he done his press conference on Friday. They played on Thursday. They still won last night. They're a really good side. So we know the danger. We know our strengths as well. We'll try to do what we have to do to win the match. They'll be without Douglas Luiz. On the differences between VAR and the champs and the Prem, well, still stupid, because you could say Gabriel should have conceded the penalty against Bayern Munich. I don't want to spark a debate, but let me know your thoughts. I can't lie to you. Saka should have had a pen. I can't lie, whether he's playing for it or not. That's what you need to do to get to the next level. It should have been a pen. I'm sorry. Yes, we can have conversations. Should Saka have stayed on his feet? Could he have stayed on his feet? Should he have been looking to make contact? I don't know. But it 100% should have been a penalty. I've seen them given for less. DG, thinking about you, got 59k subs. That's full Arsenal stadium. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that. Not quite full, but it would be a Cat A game. So it would be Arsenal versus City. And I couldn't do it without you lot, man. I've been coaching my lad out of stretching for a ball like Kiwior did. It takes you out the game as you lose your balance. Better to push off and try to get your whole body to it, stay balanced. There you have it there, Charlie. You're bang on the money. And again, you're right. Body positioning, because for me with Kiwior, yeah, I think Raya's doing madness. Maybe him and Gabriel need to communicate, but Raya's doing madness, right? If Raya's not where he is, they might still score, but they have a lot to do. I think initially Gabriel dealt with it, and he dealt with it well. I do think he's played a quote-unquote hospital pass to Kiwior. I think he's sold him short. And I can't tell a Polish international, an Arsenal footballer, someone that's played in Serie A, I can't tell you nothing about football, but your body positioning don't look good. You don't, like, you're flat-footed. You've kind of half swiped at it with your left peg. Like you're saying there, your whole body's not there. You get your whole body there, you might win the foul, really and truly. But it's gone now, isn't it? We just have to learn for next time. So yeah, Arteta's spoken about VAR, said we have to adapt on what the players got from the Bayern game. Probably that we need to control our emotions. We need to control the emotions. I would say take your chances, create more chances, and not concede stupid goals. I must admit, I think in Europe, that's where our biggest teething problems are. I think in the Premier League, pardon me, we ain't won the Premier League for me to be talking with chess, but it feels like we can compete with City, whether they beat us or not. We're not scared to play City. We're not scared of Liverpool. We're not, and not even the bigger teams, Brighton away. The games that people look at are like, I'm not looking forward to that. We've done all right. Where you look at Europe, I think there's still teething issues. I don't quite believe this, but Porto away, players look like, for the first that game, I was thinking it felt like the Arsenal of old, where was looking for other players to make the difference. Like all of our players are looking for the other guys to do something. I think at home against Porto, I think Saliba in particular looked very nervous. And I think obviously Bayern Munich, they look nervous as well. Defenders look very nervous, and not making excuses, but Gabriel ain't been there before. Kiwior ain't been there before. David Raya ain't been there before. Saliba ain't been there before. Benjamin, to be fair, Benjamin White is probably the best of the lot. So I think Benjamin White did his job. But I even think for the first goal, Declan Rice, Benjamin White could do a lot better. But they're kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't, because the other names we've been discussing, the damage has been done. So I would say that I would say positives. We can compete. We do belong at this stage, but football's a results-driven business, and cup competition, Champions League competition is it. Like you look at Real Madrid, as great as they are, and Carlo and all these things. When you look at the last couple of times they've won the champs, or definitely the last time, they've been flirting with defeat, but they've had that mentality to to think they can overcome everything, and they've taken their moments. Like I think we all must have thought, you can't blame Benjamin White because he's not a striker. He should have scored, but he's not a striker, and things like that. But I'm pretty sure everyone that watched Arsenal versus Bayern at the Emirates, maybe other fans, but us Arsenal fans, we definitely sat there when Ben White didn't put the either side of Neuer, and we thought, oh, you know what? That might come back to haunt us, or I hope it doesn't. And then we saw in the moments that followed. I think there's a lot to take, especially how we emotionally managed the game by being very dominant and ahead. And within 15 minutes, you're behind against the top side. You have to deal with that game emotionally, which is really tough to do. I think the team did brilliantly to manage that situation. It's halftime. There's everything to play for in Munich. And teething problems, you have to learn on the job. If you want to learn to ride a bike, you're going to fall off it, innit, trying to keep your balance. And I do think we're at that stage as a team now, to a degree, where Arteta's built the team. He's given you the tactics. The players have been receptive to that. But I think they're of that stage now where they just have to learn on their own, if that makes sense. Like I think Arteta probably did, and the players probably knew You need to control your emotions and all of that jazz. But until they've been there, been burned, and and whatnot, I think that's something that will help us a lot more. Because Manchester City even had that to a degree. On whether players have to learn that emotion on the field. To be fair, I think the attacking players I think Saka controlled his emotions, at least until after the game. I think Havertz did. I think Trossard and Jesus did. I think Jorginho did. I did think Declan Rice looked a bit overawed, if I'm honest. Who else was there? I think Martin Wondergaard did. Odegaard put in a captain's performance. I think that's something that you have to work on daily with a lot of aspects. When you are there, you're already living certain things in your system, and as a team to be able to deal with them. Big up Unai Emery for 1,000 games as a manager. Hopefully he gets the Wenger treatment like us against Chelsea. On how much the next 2 weeks will define our season, very for sure, because we can be in all competitions going into the semi-finals of the Champions League and be top of the Premier League table or not. I never knew that. Could we? That's crazy. Every game is going to define what our future looks like. He then said it's only possible to look at one day and one game. It's the only thing that is possible because it's the only thing that maintains your focus and determines the task that you have to do in your day, which is the only thing you can control. On if he's thought about being the first Arsenal manager in 20 years to win the Prem. I don't think like this, to be fair. I think about what we have to do next to beat the next opponent to win and maintain the position that we're in. There's still very far to go. And what I would say to that is, I believe you, Arteta, but you're lying, man. You definitely think about that. I think that would be a better question for Mikel Arteta's wife when they're pillow talking and she sees in. And you know what? I actually think they should speak to Mikel Arteta's wife, because, she has seen when he's come home after these mad defeats, back-to-back 8th, what he truly believes, what he truly thinks. Has he ever questioned himself? So I genuinely think that's cap, but you never know. On how difficult it is to do that, it's the job that we live. The game finishes and 15 minutes later, we finish Luton. I was watching Brighton in my office in the stadium. It's like this because you don't have time. You have to prepare and you're on to the next one. You see my manager, great stuff. On if our defense will win us the champs or the Prem. The Prem, potentially the champs. I think it becomes more about controlling your emotions and moments. It's a huge platform and it gives you a real chance to win football matches, that's for sure. And we've been consistent and see the difference when you concede and when you don't concede those goals, the impact that it has. Let's keep doing it. On keeping the players relaxed and positive, I'm not going to lie, I think you're at that point now where the players have to do it now. I think you've given them all the tools. I think the players have to do it. Going back to Real Madrid, of course, Carlo Ancelotti tells them everything and Carlo does that. But the players sort it out themselves. You see Modric, you see Rudiger, you see all of these guys. I think the players at that point now where they have to sort it out themselves. Everybody really and truly and them kind of things there. Don't feel it's an Arteta thing per se. I think he can give you confidence, train well, prepare you well, but controlling your emotions and that, I think that's with the players. And I will say, anyone that's been in a dressing room, Sunday League level all the way to the professional level, yeah. If you imagine the manager, like Arteta's giving his speech and he's just left the room. When you've left the room and the players say how they really feel about things, that's when they have to sort it out, if that makes sense to you lot, people. On keeping the players relaxed and positive, obviously we want to do that. I won't waste your time with that. On if there are any special techniques to that, of course there are. He spoke about his Villa ban, which he shouldn't have. We won't get into that, people. And controlling his emotions. And don't control your emotions for no one, Mikel Arteta. I love your passion, and football is one of those games, and sometimes that can help you. Like I've always admired Arsene Wenger because whether we won, lost, or drawn, he's kept his cool. But I also like passion. I've also played Sunday League where I'm a fullback as well, so it's probably the same in the professional game. When the game is when you're playing in Sunday League and it's nervy and you're thinking like you're gonna lose, and I look on the touchline and my manager's looking scared, I get scared because I'm like, oh, he don't believe in us. But if we're getting, we're under supreme pressure and all of that jazz, and I look and my manager is gassing us, he's fighting, it gasses me like, all right, let's go. So I would say that. He spoke about Gabriel Jesus. A lot of you lot tried to write him off, people. In elite sport, to play without pain is very difficult, especially at the level that we play. If you ask any player, they will say that sometimes there's pain. They have to deal with that and that makes you as well. And, Gabriel Jesus, Big Gabriel, Saka, they've all been carrying knocks. Benjamin White and plenty of others. That makes you as well. And Gabby has this toughness and character that he wants to overcome. He has overcome some difficulties in terms of injuries and he's ready again on trying to transmit calm energy. I don't know if it's consciously. You guys know me. It's how I feel one way or the other, and it's very difficult to hide it. It's how I feel. I want to give the players the best support and mindset and emotional state to enjoy these moments. Go for it and have a real sense of belief and determination to earn what we have worked so hard for 10 months to achieve. There, you said it there. You've worked for 10 months. Don't mess it up now, like we have the last 2 years. Only if it's the 10th time of the season. Of course it is, but also relish it. You know, you lot's careers, whether you're Ethan Nonwary, I know he's not really relevant to the Prem, or you're Jorginho, whether you're in your 70s or 30s, your career is going to fly by like that. So enjoy it, man. These are the moments you lot built for. This is, you know, I think we should do an all or nothing, because if we win this title, I want to see how we reacted at the end of 2023, and I would love to see what the Dubai trip was. That's for sure. They're super focused and determined. When the team is doing very well, don't touch it, let them do it. They've grown a lot as a group, and let them be themselves. So yeah, there you have it, people. And he's obviously spoken about transmitting energy. On Kai Havertz, no, the first conversation with him, I told him what the idea was and how I could see him play and impact the team. He agreed with that. He's very comfortable changing positions. I'm not gonna lie, Arteta, unless you know you really work with Kai Havertz, I don't really want to see him in the 8 role. I get it, he has to do it at times. I think the striker role, he looks a bit better in that. And I actually tried to make a video with this and actually try to find the comments, but I can't. He didn't say Kai Havertz would play as a winger, but he was speaking about Kai Havertz's versatility, and he said that he can play out wide, and that's an option that we haven't utilized yet. So yeah, he's done it with us, with Chelsea in the past, with the national team, and he has the capacity to adapt. He played a bunch of roles. If he's feeling good, sometimes it's about who's around him and what we ask him to do more than the position. He then said, I'm not sure. I think it depends on the game. It depends on the behaviors of the opponent and what his role is within the day. But I wouldn't say he's more comfortable as a 9. I think he's tremendous as a 9, but he did very similarly as an 8. Arteta, your captain, man. You know, Havertz didn't have a good game for Arsenal Football Club. People, I'm not going to lie, 69 likes. It's her brother's birthday, man. Can we not get 100? Like, they don't care about me. But on a serious note, Arteta's lying, man. Like, what standout game did Kai Havertz have as a number 8? Cool, you was doing the fighting thing against Newcastle, but you're a striker. For me, anyways. For now, you're a striker, man. If I'm completely honest, Fish, appreciate that. Team Harrison, appreciate that. Personally, I would preset, but would be fine if Jesus or Trossard start. I just think for me, it comes down to Kai Havertz. For me, I'm not dropping Kai Havertz at this moment in time. Terrell, appreciate that. I don't think you can be dropped. I think you deserve to play, if I'm honest with you. Big up yourself, Jason. Appreciate that. No, Gally, don't want your podcast. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Yeah, don't be silly. Don't be silly. Like, I'm ambitious. I'm consistent. I'm God-fearing. I'm sexy. I go gym. Of course. I'm the prize. I'm the prize. Queen of the South. Don't do that. Don't do that. DM me. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, don't be silly. Like, come on now. The CV speaks for itself. A legend. It's all entertainment. Anyone watching, I'm showing off. Appreciate you, Pure Vibes. No pen for me. Come on, Pure Vibes, man. It's a pen, bro. Obviously, he's looking for it, and it's a soft pen, but it's a pen. I can't let no one could convince me that Saka thing weren't a pen. Of course, if it was anyone else, I'd be like, oh. But it's a pen. I like that with Saka. I'm not saying Saka's Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah, but a lot of the talk around Bukayo Saka, they were saying it around Cristiano Ronaldo. He's a diver and things. If that, it's not the same. But if that happens any other side of the pitch, they say it's a smart foul. I don't think Saka could have stayed on his feet, but I like the fact that he's becoming more calculated. Score prediction for tomorrow. A nervy 2-1, man. I think Emre's got something. I can't lie. Kiwior gets ripped around. Anytime he has to play a speed star or a skill star, or speed star, anyone like that, he struggles, man. And I think it's a lot because he's not proactively reactive, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is, obviously, if we're all watching a 90-minute game of football, right, and the defender makes a fantastic slide tackle, yeah, that's going to be in the highlights. But we might not see his positioning if he actually had to, make that slide tackle because he switched off. What I would find great is if, that centre-back or whatever, rather than make a slide tackle, he's read the situation already, stepped in front, won the ball, kept it moving. And Kiwior's still learning on the job. I think he's made a lot of progress. I like Kiwior because if you can't become a first-team regular, show that you can be a reliable guy, if that makes sense. Whoa. I don't know about him. But yeah, I like Kiwior. But yeah, Kiwior is just someone who needs to be confident. But I feel like he isn't someone who fits our style. But he's not. But if he's not the great people mentioned and not the ish others say, he's just calm. I do wonder though. I don't know how much we spent for him, but you hear Roma, Napoli, AC Milan, all these teams are linked with him. if we get a little profit on what we initially paid, do you not reckon Arteta says, you know what, save? Because I must admit, I would say the biggest thing I'm disappointed with Kiwior is I didn't get what I thought I was going to get on paper. Bro, Polish, bro. Them man there, them Polish defenders, like, you can kick their face before they let a ball go in the back of the net. They're serious. Like, I thought we're getting that. And on top of that, Italy, man, like the University of Defending, like that again, people that want to die before they concede. I would have thought I'd see stronger defensive performances, but at the same time, he's not a left back. But at the same time, to caveat that, at the end of the day, you're playing left back, innit? So you are a left back. Take chances, and obviously, if you're not comfortable out wide and you're put out wide, you may or may not struggle. But a big thing that was said about Kiwior is, he's adaptable. He's played in midfield. He's played here. He's played there. He's played there. He's done all of this. So there's a level of intelligence. But also at the same time, regardless of if you play left back or not, and it's easy for me to talk because I haven't played elite sport, especially against Sane. But, you know, you don't drop off when you need to. You don't get tight when you need to. You don't, like, I don't really see significant defensive qualities. Like, who is Kiwior better defensively in Arsenal's team? For me, only Zinchenko. And even that, I'm not going to lie, I think I've seen plenty of good games defensively from Zinchenko, probably more because he's played more than Kiwior. Like, I'm not even boying Kiwior. Like, it's not a diss, but what is his... I just want to know, what's his outstanding qualities? Because people tell me passing, I ain't seen this passing. People tell me defending, I ain't seen this defending. He's had good games and that. But really? Appreciate that, Riley, man. But I'm going to say nervy 2-1 for prediction. When Sane turned Kiwior, I thought he'd foul him. He doesn't really look like he wants to take responsibility. It is a difficult one, though, because you foul him, you pick up a yellow. Then for the remainder of the game, ooh, yellow card against Sane is crazy. But yeah, man. Jesus looks solid against Bayern. I think he might start over Havertz. You could reckon Havertz needs a rest, but I think it's a thing where, I'll be real, Havertz is one of the first names on the team sheet, if I'm completely honest. So I think Kai plays up front. You look get him where you can in it. And I think I would play Saka. So that's Saka and Havertz. And then I think Trossard deserves a start. I also think Jesus, as you said, looks solid. So it gets a bit. But then again, I think football's a weird one, innit? Like, Una Emery's our former manager. He gave Martinelli, his chance. Could he come back to haunt his former gaffer, Smith Rowe, as well? Hope you got big plans for the last birthday of 20s. No, I understand that. Like Vibes would say. I'm behind the stream, but I'm playing Kiwior and Tommy, both defensively minded, not too many minutes. I don't want to change both our fullbacks, man. I don't want to do all of that, if I'm honest with you. It's one change and done. Jesus spoke very well before the Bayern game. Amen. Appreciate that, Chase Code. DG All or Nothing drink up only on Netflix. Soon land. Appreciate you lot, man. A man said I'm out here stripping a life, man. Like, when you look like this, you flick like this, man. No way Saka Google search for Neuer's leg. That was funny. Saka did not search for Neuer's leg. But to be fair, Neuer looked guilty as well. He looked guilty. Easy way to explain Saka's leg positioning. Get up on your left leg and hop to your left. Pay attention to where your right goes. Now think of it at high speed. Ouch. Wait, what did you say to do? Get up on your left leg and hop to your left. Yeah, you're right, follows. And I do think people need to understand that he appreciate the birthday messages throughout, by the way. But I think people need to understand it's going at high speed, if I'm honest. And they should have had a pen, let's be real. I didn't see it, so I can't comment on it. And big up the ref for using common sense, but they should have had a yellow. They should have had a penalty, sorry, Gabriel. We can't cry about Saka's and not mention that, if I'm completely honest with you. In terms of, preview of the game, apparently a run of one win from their last 5 league games has put Villa's European dreams in jeopardy. Don't let this be the game that they turn their form around, by the way. But while their current placing of 5th could still be enough to qualify, Emery will have ambitions of climbing back into the automatic qualification positions where they have been for the majority of an impressive campaign. A brilliant start saw them, and again, I want revenge because they dealt with us at their place. A brilliant win saw them win 12 of their first 17 games, including the 1-0 success at our expense in December, and meant Villa ended 2023 in 2nd place. However, 4 defeats since then saw them slip from title contention, and last week's 3-3 draw against Brentford saw Spurs seize the all-important 4th spot. The goals of Ollie Watkins have been vital, and he has netted a league high 15 from open plays. He fit because there's been some rumors he's not. We're going to have to get on him. He took his tally in all comps to 25 when he opened the scoring in Villa's Europa Conference League quarter-final win against Lyon on Thursday night as they take a 2-1 lead to Northern France next week. We've already spoken about Arteta's thoughts, but Emre has said it's different to the previous meeting, completely different. We played here at Villa Park in December compared to the match we're going to play on Sunday. Something similar because there are a lot of players, again, playing, fighting in those teams, but different because we're playing at the Emirates and we're playing as well in a different context. Now they're fighting for the Premier League trophy. Why does everyone keep saying that? Are Arsenal the title challenge? I never knew that. We're fighting behind them, trying to keep our 5th position we have now and fighting with Spurs. We wish you all the best on the fight with Spurs, just not tomorrow. It's different as well because some players, of course, being injured are not going to play on Sunday. And I think Douglas Luiz is suspended. We've spoken about Timber. We all know Emre's a tinkerman. He can go from a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-4-1-1 or a 4-4-2. And again, they are, you expect Emre's side to be a tough side to beat. Apparently, they limit the number of quality chances the opponent can create, which they didn't do that against us at their place. We just didn't put the ball in the back of the net. Apparently, they're facing an average of just 11.19 shots per match. Only the top 3 protect their goal better than the villains. However, defending set pieces has been the weakness. Music to my ears. Immediate music to my ears. We ain't scored from a set piece in a minute. You can bet your bottom dollar Mikel Arteta knows about that. Gabriel, Saliba, Benjamin White, Declan Rice, Kai Havertz. I expect to see a header scored at the Emirates. Immediate. They have leaked 14 goals from corners and free kicks this term, and only 2 clubs have let in more. With Arsenal so strong from set pieces and outstanding in central midfield, there will be areas of concern for Emre. Aston Villa are looking to complete just their 3rd Premier League double over us. Only one of our last 16 meetings between ourselves. Only one of the last 16 meetings between ourselves, in brackets 11 wins and Villa's 5 wins, have finished level, with us winning 4 of the last 5. Aston Villa are unbeaten in their last 9 league away games against London sides. We're unbeaten each of our last 23 games. Can we take it? And I hope I haven't done us dirty, but Arsenal fans, not only have Bayern Munich, Manchester City and Liverpool come to the Emirates and not win, yeah? We're on the best day ever in the year, the 13th of April, my birthday. Subscribe, smash the like button. But we're in April and we have not lost in the Premier League. Can we just take a second to take that in? Like, we have not lost. Seriously. They laughed at us when we had one win in 5. Then the turn of the year, we just started pressuring teams. It's absolutely crazy. That's mad. You can't say Arteta's not doing wavy things at this football club. We have won 10 of our last 11 Premier League meetings, scoring at least twice in each victory. We've conceded just 4. Villa have caught their opponents offside 142 times. I told you a lot about that. Again, Villa lost 4-1 at Man City in their last away game, but haven't lost consecutively on the road since May 2023. Saka has been involved in 11 goals in his last 11 league meetings, scoring 9 and assisting 2. Ollie Watkins has been involved in 11 goals in his last 10. Trossard has 8 Premier League goals this season, his joint most in a single campaign. 4 of these have been as a sub, with only Giroud ever letting more from an Arsenal bench for Arsenal in the season, where he got 6. David Coote is the referee. 1,000% a pen. I'd argue there was more contact on that than the Sane one. Trossard should come off the bench. It's a madness that it didn't get referred. What's even the point of VAR? It should be on request VAR like tennis or cricket. He bottled it. I personally think the ref towards the end of the game against Bayern Munich bottled 2 mad decisions. And I think Davis misses out on Wednesday anyways, but he bottled the second yellow there, and he obviously bottled that decision. And I guess in hindsight, he bottled their pen. 85 million for Quetta is a no-brainer. I don't know. I like Paqueta a lot, man. Happy birthday, DG. One love. What are your thoughts on what's happening with Martinelli? Is it a change to our focus down the left or what? I think it's a byproduct of everything. And if I'm going to be shameless with you, I'm happy you mentioned that, because I actually did a video and I uploaded it yesterday. So I'll drop it in the chat. Take that in after this is done. But I think it's a bunch of things. I think Martinelli has to become more unpredictable. I do think the absence of Granit Xhaka, and we've played a lot of different people in that left 8 and done a lot of different things. There's been inconsistencies depending on who's on the left-hand side. And I just think Martinelli's learning to be a goal scorer in that regard. So it's a bunch of things, but I did a video on it. Kiwior, Jorginho need to hold bench. They've done their part now. I hear it. I'd go Tommy left back, Martinelli left wing, Jesus right wing, and Bossa up front. I'm not going to lie. I know we should be able to rest Saka, but I don't feel comfortable with Saka not starting, if I'm completely honest. Appreciate that, man. If Saka stays up like he did against Liverpool, referee didn't give it. And that's the thing. Like, so I've seen a lot of my players stay on their feet and then they don't get the decision. So then where are you at with that? The side is too lopsided. Of course it is. I think last season was an anomaly in that, for me anyways, it felt like last season was the first time in a while, because Zinchenko's playing all the time, Xhaka's playing all the time, Martinelli doing his thing, where we look good down the left, good down the right. I think we've gone back to what's been the case is, yeah, we can score goals down the left and obviously threaten, but the right-hand side is your bread and butter. And when you look at the inconsistencies down the left compared to the right, you can see why, essentially. Benjamin White's always there. Odegaard's always there. Saka is always there. And that relationship just gets better and better. And I also feel Havertz, I think Havertz peels to the right more than the left, if I'm honest with you, especially when playing up front. When Gabriel Jesus was our striker, there was more of a link-up between Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel Martinelli, if I'm honest. So I think it's a mixture of things, but I would say Martinelli's got to do better off his own back. Allegedly, Arsenal have had a change to their summer plans because of Kai Havertz's form. What do you lot think? I mean, if Havertz can score 20-odd league goals, I'm all for it, but I still think we need a striker, people. But this is said that we're considering changing. Does that mean going to a winger or whatever? I don't know, people. Apparently, Arsenal had been in the market for a new central forward in the summer, and they had been considering investing heavily in the likes of Isaac, Ivan Toney, and Osimhen. Havertz's improvement, however, means Arsenal are now looking at a different profile of forward to complement their existing options. Arsenal are interested in Sporting Lisbon's prolific Victor Gyökeres, but have balked at the Portuguese club's valuation, while they're also admirers of Brighton's Evan Ferguson, who they view as one for the future. He's going to be a lot of money. The Gunners are also likely to be in the market for a wide forward capable of providing competition and cover for both Saka and Martinelli, while Zubimendi is the number one midfield target amid uncertainty over the futures of Thomas Partey. Wait, what? Wait, what? Am I reading this right? Zubimendi is the number one midfield target amid uncertainty over the futures of Thomas Partey and Declan Rice. Uncertainty over Declan Rice's future. You just spent 105 million. Now, where's he going? I think they meant to put Jorginho. You see, this is why I don't trust journalists. He was James Goldman. You was too horny to get an article out. You're not even proofreading, and this comes from someone dyslexic. Havertz, meanwhile, has 9 goals for the season following his man of the match display at Brighton last weekend. After which Arteta confessed he had no initial plan. He had no initially planned to use. I think he means not initially planned to use the 24-year-old in such an attacking role when he signed him. He planned to play him everywhere. Let's be honest. He tried the midfield thing. It would have been nice if it worked. It didn't. Now he's gone back to the false 9. A lot of the times, the players decide where they play. You can have certain ideas, but when you see certain relationships and it flows, when it flows, you have to let it go. That's what's happening with Kai at the moment, and he feels really comfortable there. That's why I would play him up front until the wheels fall off at the moment. The team is really comfortable with him there, and the rest has happened naturally. He's certainly having a huge impact on the team. His overall performances have been really good, and now his numbers for goal contributions are really high. He needs to maintain that. I think his understanding with the attacking players was superb. I think he had real purpose and connection and a lot of clarity on where to attack, and we created many chances. He has some fantastic players around him. We have tried to create the right environment for him, which I think is very important for any player, that they feel confident, and hopefully we give him the love he needs. He has the admiration of the rest of the players and the staff of the club, and now the supporters of the club for sure. And in hindsight, I don't think Havertz, for obvious reasons, was given a fair crack at the whip or time to adapt to the new system and club and all that jazz. He was on borrowed time because he signed from Chelsea. And signing Kai Havertz for me was like when we signed Danny Welbeck, in that when they were at them clubs, they're the easy ones to banter. So he was always on borrowed time, and nobody saw in hindsight how he was going to get us closer to City. And I think he has in his own way now in that. I like Havertz. I think you're an adaptable player. I still don't know if Arsenal, in my image, which I don't make the decisions, I would love to sign a striker. I would love to sign a central midfielder. And assuming we sign them 2 players, people, and we say what's Arsenal's strongest team on paper, I don't think Kai's there, but you can be part of the squad. So big up Kai, man, because no one cares about the 65 million and all that jazz at the moment, people. Bayern Leverkusen are taking Bundesliga by storm. Arsenal, Liverpool join race to sign exceptional Bundesliga star, but face Bayern Munich competition. Arsenal and Liverpool have joined the race to sign one of the Bundesliga's top stars, although they face fierce competition from Bayern Munich, according to reports. Come the summer, plenty of Europe's top clubs are expected to be in the market. When I was talking about Grimaldo, no one wanted to know for a new left back. Zinchenko hasn't been as prominent in the Arsenal 11 this season, and his long-term future at the club is in doubt. He's got 2 years left on it. Alphonso Davies could be leaving Bayern Munich. So, yeah, according to Football Transfers, the attacking wing-back is admired by Arsenal, Liverpool, and Munich. The report states Grimaldo's future at Leverkusen is in the balance on the back of his impressive form. Arsenal and Liverpool have reportedly been monitoring his situation, while Bayern Munich are also expressing keen interest in the 28-year-old. But Xabi Alonso is committed to such, and he's a quality player, man. He's produced 26 goal contributions with 11 goals and 15 assists. Him and Frimpong have been a scary sight. Apparently, the 28-year-old takes 2.3 shots and produces 2.6 key passes per game. That's great, but where's the defensive metrics? Cool, you can shoot in that, but where's the defensive metrics? Arsenal are keen to sell unwanted stars in the summer and may regret not including a buy option in Nuno Tavares' loan with Marseille last season. I'll be amazed if he's there. Apparently, Tavares didn't hold back with his criticism of Arsenal. Now, let's give him the benefit of the doubt and see exactly what the man has said, people, before we draw him out. In Marseille, I was happy. I felt a bit like I was in Lisbon. The streets, the people, certain places, in many places, the two cities are similar, and I love Marseille, so why don't you fuck off and say that then? But the Benfica Stadium is prettier, but the atmosphere is even stronger, more tense at the Velodrome. At Arsenal, I do not know if it was a problem of competition with Tierney, but for me, that's not even a point. I came to Marseille to finally be able to play in my position. When signing with Marseille, I wanted to have a buy option, but Arsenal refused. With my agents, we always wanted this purchase option, but Arsenal didn't. I was happy with Marseille. At Arsenal, I would have probably only played in the cup. Rightly so, you're crap, bro. Like, I'm not being funny. And Arsenal, it's one of them where we need to slap ourselves in the face because we shouldn't have signed him. But I will never forget Arsenal signing Nuno Tavares personally because I knew it was crap. And if you lot remember, you lot can go on my YouTube channel and see when we signed him. You know, when players do the interview on the club's website, I'm reading it with you lot, and he's talking about, bearing in mind he's a defender, I like to shoot with my right foot. That's cool, you can do all of that. But any defender, when they ask you what you like doing, and you don't say, I like to battle against wingers, I like to be spot on, I like clean sheets, I'm like, huh? And Arteta from the jump distanced himself from that signing because he said it was a club signing. He knew it was Banduli. In relation to João Gomez of Wolves, people who we've been linked with, Romano has poured cold water on it, people. Another player being linked with Arsenal by some outlets is Wolves midfielder João Gomez. My understanding remains that there's still nothing concrete for Gomez at the moment. Every week there's a new club being linked in the media, almost all of them. He's been scouted by a number of top clubs, as I've mentioned before, but nothing has entered concrete stages, and he's doing quite well. The ref whistle is to signify that players allowed to be restarted. It doesn't mean that the next action of the ball is in play. The other thing about the challenge on Saka was, did you see how he fell? On the slow-mo, it looked like he nearly effed his right knee up, which we hope isn't the case, man. I feel like if Saka didn't raise his left, I think you mean leg as high as he did, it would have been less bait. I mean, who wouldn't want Paqueta, man? Who wouldn't want Mikel? But it's a myth. Appreciate you, James. But bro was rushing that article. Bro, it's long doing that, man. Of course it was. Tavares got no IQ, just happy-go-lucky. He plays on instinct, and he's not a good defender. Like, people say play him in the wings. We do need a world-class 8. People say play him out wide. But if Tavares is played out wide, you're going to look at him even harsher because if you ain't got great decision-making, I always said it, Tavares was overrated in the final third. A lot of Arsenal fans got gassed because he was a fairly strong carrier. He was a bit unorthodox. There's no point getting into the final third if you're passing when you need to shoot and shooting when you need to pass. That's dead. Apparently, Paqueta will have a release clause at West Ham for around 100 million euros this summer. City remain interested. And some articles actually say Manchester City have agreed personal terms, people. Cesc Fabregas has set his sights on managing in the Premier League, people. He said, you never know how the future will go, but I want to be a main coach. I'm doing my own way at the moment. 100% my ambition one day is to coach a top club in the Prem and the Champions League. But you need to respect the right steps. I feel I'm ready to be a first-team coach already, so I don't really want to go into these type of little coaching on the side or being an assistant. I have very clear things in my mind that I want to be a main coach, a first team coach. That's why I'll do my own way until I'm ready to jump on a big train. But for now, there's a long way to go. I'm just getting started. I feel privileged for the opportunity Como has given me, and I'm very happy here. Do your thing, man, dude. Do your thing. Odegaard was nominated for Champions League, Player of the Week, rightly so. What's this? Apparently, would you not have even the most harshest of Ivan Toney critic, yeah, 40 million quid. Are you getting that done, people? Because apparently he's now another target for Arsenal and Chelsea again, because apparently he's available for even 30 million here. Surely not. But would you not have him for that? I don't know. But that's everything. I think we put a bid in for Enzo. Pardon me, heard it here first. Fernandez. Nunes is meaty. If you fail as a winger, you play fullback. Fakes. The truth hurts, but thanks, mate. I went all the way from striker to fullback, so I can't have been a really good one. But anyone that played for Edmund All Stars and All Saints, I know you lot remember my 30 goal season. I could go into my attic and get the trophies. Appreciate that, man. That was 100% nailed on pen. Saka's eyes purely on the ball. He's about to score. At this point, Charlie, man, like, it's one of them where I'm not debating with no one anymore, because if you don't believe it's a pen, you're not going to see any other things other than that, people. If I'm completely honest, man. Appreciate that, Benny Blanco. Appreciate that, K, man. Appreciate the birthday messages, man. Appreciate that. Striker to fullback. Dang. Okay. But what? Don't chat about that.
Against this right back, Charlie.
Allow me, man. I'm 5'8" now. I was about 3'10". There was no way I was gonna be a striker. Like, I used to look up to Jermaine Defoe, but I never had that. Like, allow me, man. What is Charlie's ceiling in your opinion? Patino, or you talk about Charlie in that clip? I think Patino can have a good future. Unfortunately, you know, you're at that weird age of your early 20s where at the end of the day, Arsenal are probably going to sign a midfielder. You've got Fabio Vieira, Smith Rowe, Kai Havertz, who can all play there. Who else you got? You're going to bring in the next one. You got Jorginho, Partey. At the end of the day, there's not that many goals. There's not that many games in it, really. And Arsenal might say, you know what? He's got him, Mika Beref. You've got 1 year left on your deal. You're making waves. Let's make a profit and keep it moving. But I like Charlie. And I love Charlie because he's a very nice human being, let alone footballer. And he was one of the first footballers. You know, I'll always support Charlie Patino, Kion Edwards, Nathan Butler-Nadeji, Brooke Norton-Coffey, Tyrese John Jules, Amari Hutchinson, and there's plenty of others, man, because they did the interviews with me a few years ago, man, and they're still on my YouTube channel, shameless. Go and take them in, man. Yeah, I'm one goal wonder, man. You can't style my thing. The amount of times I've hit the crossbar. I'm a bit like Nuno Tavares. Why do you think I hate him so much? Fabregas, you're not coaching Arsenal, buddy. Go to Chelsea. You never know. Life is funny, man. You know, life is funny. And as I say, I'm 29 today, so I'm getting to that weird age and have been for a while where I don't know about anyone else, yeah, and there's, you know, Charlie, Ben, you lot all older than me. It's getting weird because, like, if I just say random names, I'm seeing Xavi, Motta, says Fabregas, Mikel Arteta, Thierry Henry's done the coaching thing, Patrick Vieira's done the coaching thing, Xabi Alonso coach, Gerrard, Lampard, technically Ryan Giggs, but Giggs. I'm getting to that weird age where Rooney, because I watched your whole career, like, you're retiring and becoming managers, getting old, man. A wide left back would be nice, but I don't think it's a priority. For me, I think what we need is I think you're right, man. I think if it was up to me, I think a number 8. Well, if it was up to me, we'd have 2 centre midfielders. But if not, I would say a right wing, well, an adaptable winger that can perform on the left and the right, a striker, a number 8, a Tomiyasu Timber versatile kind of defender that can fill in. But if you can get a centre back that can play right back or a centre back that can play left back, we can maneuver. Obviously, we're going to probably have to sign a goalie because Ramsdale's days are numbered. I feel like we need some pacey fullbacks. I think Timber will pattern that, man. But at the same time, though, is that what Arteta wants? Because our fullbacks don't hug the touchline again. You're basically centre midfielders. Now, it would be nice to have that gear, that another gear to our game and be unpredictable. But does Arteta want that? Because I don't think you lot are wrong. We'd love that, but you don't really want to hear that. Dane, appreciate that, Makili. Who's better, Nuno or DG? Well, I don't kiss dogs and that, so it's me, isn't it? Like, it's 100% me. Charlie Patino will become a world-class centre mid. He just needs to be in the right hands. And the club might say, do you know what? We love Charlie, but you got Ethan, you got Miles, you got these young ones coming through who are a bit younger. You know, if you can't progress to the first team, if we can make profit on you like Balogun, then it is what it is. Because I genuinely think, unfortunately, I think Charlie Patino, Mika Bereth, you'll be sold for whatever. Nelson could be sold for some. I don't think Nelson, Smith Rowe, and Nketiah will go. But let's just say Charlie, Mika Bereth, unfortunately, Tyrese John Jules as well. 1 to 2 of Smith Rowe, Eddie, and Nelson. And then, you know, you start getting into the Ramsdales, maybe Thomas Partey, and etc. etc. Yeah, a bunch of dons from the past become managers. Next 10 years, Saka becomes a manager. Probably. Do you know that'd be? Do you know what? I actually feel in the same way Wenger, Alex Ferguson, Jose have inspired people. I think Arteta is, because maybe they're not doing it because it's got nothing to do with Arteta. But since Arteta's been here, I've seen Rob Holding, Cedric, El Nene, Ramsdale. I don't know if I just said Jorginho, but a lot of these players are doing Holding. If I haven't said that, they're doing their level 1s, 2s, 3s, etc. Maybe they're just doing it to pass time. Maybe they're just doing it as a potential option. Maybe they're doing it with being a manager. And I actually think Granit Xhaka as well, he'll end up being stuff. Personally, I feel like we may go into centre back who could rotate at right back. That could be it. I'm not going to lie to you though. I more want a fullback that can play on both sides. Jorginho and a coaching role, our club would be class. It's true, but then when we say coaching, we can't always assume they want to be manager, because some men are happy to just be an assistant. Some men want to do the academy thing. Some people want to, you know, managing, you know, have a little job for a national team. Some people want to be managers outright, because you got to remember, being a manager stress, you know. I wouldn't like, yeah, you earn a lot of money and it's a great job and whatnot, but do you know how stressful this is? Like, imagine if you're Mikel Arteta, you've been telling these men about Bayern Munich for time. You've been showing them heat maps, your coaching staff, been doing this and that. Sane does this guy does that. And then 20 minutes, 45 minutes into it, you can see the goals, you can see it. It's stress, man. I think Waters and Cozy Dewberry, I think Dewberry's more likely to stay than Waters. Honestly, if I'm Waters, I'd probably keep it moving. I want to be wrong, but you ain't got a sniff. Cedric's played more than you. And you're at that age now where, in my opinion, I wouldn't say it's been a wasted season, but I think you've wasted a season in that you should be playing men's football, proper football, not this under-21s BS. Go play men's football. And I think I would love for Waters to stay, but if I'm sitting here on YouTube saying the same things to you this time next year, then I think he shot himself in the foot. Which reminds me, why is El Nene still here? Vibes, man. But I don't mind. Obviously, El Nene needs to cut, but he's love for the super chat once again, James. El Nene needs to cut, but you're just there in it, really. Like, you're just a good lad, and you are a former teammate of Arteta. I want Sesko, though. I hear he's a project, but too much potential in his physical stature. You don't know my thoughts. It's just business. Someone in power wants a bidding war for Tony. That's a shout. That's a shout. You never know, and there'll be a managerial, a striker merry-go-round in the summer, really. Because Tony's been linked with clubs, but we don't actually know where he's going. Osimhen, 1 minute is PSG, then it's Chelsea. Well, to be fair, it's probably Chelsea or PSG at this moment, but he's linked with everyone. And you got a bunch of others, really. I think Ivan Toney's that 6 out of 10 gal, isn't it? Like, you're gonna go through your phone book and try link the rest, and then you're gonna go for the short banker, allegedly. But on that note, though, people, I appreciate you lot for tuning in with me. I can't lie, I'm going to enjoy my birthday, people. I'm going to see you lot tomorrow, because obviously it's watch along settings. Don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate the birthday wishes, you lot being here with me, talking football, differences of opinions and all that good jazz. Hopefully by the end of this year, people, we can get to 70k subs, but we're almost closing in on 60 people. 59.3 thousand. That's mad, even saying that, people. So, yeah, tomorrow live from 3:30, an hour before kickoff. I'll be doing watch-along settings with you lot. But, yeah, on that note, you lot stay safe, stay blessed. Sexiest YouTubers got to get out of here, man. Let's see my goal again.
Against this right back, Charlie.
Always